Top 5 tips to get better at Bomba. Here we go. Number 5. Learn your weapon. Now this might be the most obvious tip in history of mankind gaming, but that's because it's also the most important tip ever. Betty's weapon isn't the easiest to aim. If you are fairly new with her, you are probably gonna miss a lot of shots, and that's a given. So just take a step back and go to the shooting range. Take some time to learn and practice her projectile speed, drop off, and the fact that you need to aim it slightly off when enemies are close, because that's what's gonna help you do the most damage you can. And once you land most of your shots, you can just focus on other stuff. Like number 4. Target corners. Now that you know how to use your weapon, it's time to learn where your weapon is the most effective. Corners are your enemy's friends. No matter what map it is, if your enemies have more than 2 brain cells, they will always try to find a corner and play around it. So if you know where the corners on the map are, predicting shots is gonna make it way simpler for you. This is also how you can make Betty's somewhat inconsistent weapon more consistent. Number 3. Shoot around corners. Now this is an extension of the previous tip. As I said earlier, corners are your friends. Betty's damage isn't that great for a 1v1. If you are taking a Sati or a Cassie head on with no cover, you stand absolutely zero chance. But if you position better and peek corners only when you are taking shots and then just immediately going back into cover, it's gonna make it very difficult for your enemies to actually hit you. Also, since Betty's projectiles bounce, you can use it to hit people outside of your line of sight. So make sure you are using that knowledge and bouncing your shots every moment you can, as it allows you to spew out damage and poke enemies without taking any damage back in return. Number 2. Hail of Bombs is a powerful zoning tool. Now this is an ability that most people get wrong. Most people use this as an extra source of damage on enemies that are standing on the point, which is fine, but you could be using it so much more efficiently. Think of this ability as a mini Corvusult, a zoning ability. If your enemies are fighting in open space where they can just dodge your shots, throw your hail of bombs so they are forced into playing around corners where you can shoot them easier. Or if your teammates need to retreat, just block the corners entirely by throwing your hail of bombs, so they are forced into either positioning badly or just taking buttloads of damage. And finally, number 1. Plan your ultimate. Betty's ultimate is by far the most infuriating thing about her, as it can be a pain in the ass to actually use. Trust me, it's a strong ass ultimate, but you need to know 3 things about it. Number 1. Make sure you don't die using it. Have at least 50% health and plan ahead on what you wanna hit. Number 2. Make sure you have some follow-up by a teammate, like an off tank or another damage, to pick up the kills after you are done nuking the enemy's health bar. And number 3. Don't take time turning the rocket. It always goes to the crosshairs location. So you don't need to wait until the rocket slowly rotates around. You can just aim and let go of it. This was a big one for me, as I always took so long to position the rocket that I just died in the middle of using it. And that's it for this video. I still have a couple more tips for her, but I didn't want to make this video too long. If you want maybe like a part 2 or a top 5 tips for another character, you can let me know by clicking that like button and leaving a comment. And while you're at it, please subscribe, as it notifies you of whenever I upload a video, and it's the best way to support me and my channel. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and until next time I see you guys, stay safe, stay thug rated, and OBS shutting down.